Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Friday, April 25th, 2025 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I value the energy of balance. And I'm going to encourage you for the next few days to consistently and often check in with your inner sense of balance. So today we have the moon moving into Aries, which is adding a whole lot of flames to the fiery energy. We're also deep in the dark of the moon, and when we're in dark of the moon, we can have subconscious emotional episodes. We can have subconscious emotional eruptions. We can have subconscious emotions emerging, and this is coinciding with our Mars-Pluto opposition. So as of today, we have Mars at 3 degrees Leo. We have Pluto at 3 degrees Aquarius, pulling against each other, maybe working together, but Mars and Pluto definitely can help surface those power struggle energies. And there's a lot of power struggles that happen often in our world. Now, the tough thing about this energy is that Mars and Pluto are reaching their opposition point at 6:05 p.m. on Saturday. So that means all day Friday, pretty much all day Saturday, we are feeling the build. We are feeling the pull. And Mars really has two modes. It's passionate and it's moving with its passion, or it's frustrated and it's fighting the frustration. So you may have moments of passion and fun and inspiration and creativity and heart wide open feelings come up. And just as equally, you may feel like with this energy. And that's why you want to check in often with yourself and see where you're at in your balance. And if you have those frustrations, find ways that you can work through that energy, move the energy through your body. Aries, fire energy needs movement. Movement will help. Hopefully not punching somebody. Let's try not to do that. But finding some layer of movement. A long time ago, I took African dance. It was one of my favorite dance classes because the movements were bold and they were meant to reflect upon movements that people made in their everyday life, like chopping branches. But I can tell you the amount of energy that was moved through the body in doing African dance was really powerful. And so maybe that's somebody's solution, looking online for African dance class and allowing that energy to move through. There's so many other ways, but I encourage movement to help balance. Now, of course, there's also going to be time for stillness and introspection, and also checking in with your auric field. That's part of the plutonic part of this process, is that our field, our antenna, the Aquarius energy, is picking up all the aggro in the world, and we are all just kind of receptacles for this energy. And if you're not moving it through, chances are it could feel a little heavy. So be aware of that as well. Now, to be fair, this is Friday, and Friday has other interesting energies that we're moving through. Like I said, we have the moon in Aries. So the moon in Aries is just amplifying all of this. And like I said, it's in the dark of the moon, so there might be some of that unconscious display coming through. We start the day with the moon connecting to Neptune. Hello, unconscious energies. Hello, if you remember my Neptune scope, Don Quixote fighting windmills. You may have a phantom fight, a phantom frustration. It may not be so phantom. It may actually be connected to something that you're moving through. So be aware. Bring your consciousness with you and keep it on your shoulder, like the little angel on your shoulder. Then we're going to have the moon amplifying the Mars-Pluto. So we're kind of waking up in that Mars-Pluto energy. You may feel frustrations, you may feel anger, you may not want to get out of bed, you may want to get out of bed and not get out of bed, you may want to get out of bed and have a purpose and not be sure which way you're going to be moving. it all just might feel like a lot. Then we move on from all of that with the moon and Mercury connecting. And that's going to be interesting too, because our mind, for most people, I guess this isn't everybody, which is so interesting to me, but our mind usually has a running narrative of what's going on and how it perceives what's going on. And so the moon in Aries connecting to Mercury in Aries, Mercury, by the way, which is finally almost out of its shadow. It's very close to getting out of its shadow. We're almost done with this Mercury retrograde process. But there may be a narrative, and conscious awareness of that is also going to help you amidst all of this. So it's a spicy day, and I have to say that I did several readings today. I did a bunch of readings from my 20 for 20 deal, which I'm so grateful for so many who took me up on that and supported. Jack and Jen, they are both super appreciative, but there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff coming up. So be aware of these energies and take the time to breathe, center, balance. Now, that being said, I love these two cards that I have. I have the Liberation card and I have the Breakthrough card. So we're coming off Revolution Evolution Day. We're coming off that breakdown, breakthrough. So we may find some ahas coming forth in this and bringing forth some liberation. I'm going to read Liberation. The doubts and fears still come up, but you don't believe anymore that they are you. So that's powerful in this. I'm also going to show you these two cards because these are both pretty potent for today too. Clarity of mind. So like I said, conscious on your shoulder, bring that awareness, but also find time for the goodness, celebrate little things. Sometimes keeping ourselves in that kind of energy can also help not go too far into the volcano, right? Awareness of your inner volcano, awareness of any rumblings, and seeing where you can show up for yourself is gonna help you with the breakthrough, and it's gonna help you not erupt and hurt someone. We've got the past lives card in reverse. So this to me says it might be some old stuff coming up that you're processing and mulling over. Take the time to be still with yourself. The stillness is going to help, just as the dancing will. We have the We Are the World card, but this looks like people moving and grooving around the world. So remember to utilize movement. I always think the We Are the World card also reminds us none of us are an island. None of us are feeling this alone. I do feel like people feel things on different wavelengths, and that's purposeful so that we're not all of a sudden like, Mars, Pluto, let's fight, right? So keep that in mind over the next few days because, again, we're also building to a new moon, which is beautiful, but can add to the intensity. Our final card is the Abundance card, and this is always a reminder to stay in balance. This is Zorba the Buddha. Enjoy life and also enjoy and engage your spiritual self. So this is working in the physical, this is working in the spiritual, and being aware where you are being called to do the work at this time. Where do you need to bring your attention? This is going to be a lot. I might show up. Joe has his nephew in town, so I might not. I'm going to do my best. I'm definitely showing up for the new moon on Sunday, but you might get a Saturday scope too. Excuse me. Besides all this, you can always book a reading. I'm going to leave my 20 for 20 deal just for a few more days. Please, if you can support them, even if you don't want a reading with me, please do that. The help comes back around. And it's good to help when you can, even if it's $1, even if it's $5. Besides all this, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power. And may your guiding light be strong and know that you can trust the process. Namaste.